Hello, welcome to Africa This Week. I'm Abubakar Sadiq Ibrahim. In this episode, I'm going to have a technocrat, a businessman, an accountant by profession, a politician, and a chief taxi of PDP in Kogi State. He is also the MD and the CEO of Itodo Group of Companies. Today I have Elder Ubolo Itodo Okpanachi. So you're welcome to Africa This Week.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, let's get the ball rolling. Before we come to this conversation, you say, well, you have contested, you are not a newcomer to politics. You was once Accountant General of Kogi State. You participated in previously, before you, 2 times you contested for Senate as an aspirant. You contested for governorship election. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
That's why I say you're not a stranger to politics in Kogi State and in Nigeria. As a businessman, you take time off politics as your vocational assignment. But you are becoming a guru. I want you to permit me. There are issues when you lose elections. You lost your primary 2022 for 2003 senatorial district, Kogi East PDP platform. Just give us a feeling and how you feel after you lost the primary. The stress physically, emotionally, and the pocket. How do you feel at the moment?
Yes, good evening, viewers. I just want to start by making some correction to the introduction. My name actually is Elder Dr. Ubolo Itodo Okpanachi, FCA. My business is practicing accountant. That is, I run a firm of chartered accountants, which is called Itodo Okpanachi & Co. Chartered Accountants. The Itodo Group of Companies, I'm not a member, I'm not a shareholder in the Itodo Group of Companies. I know the company belongs to my wife and my children. And from time to time, I take a look at it and to ensure that the business runs well. So I'm not a member of the Itodo Group of Companies. So that is the correction I want to make in the introduction. I indeed contested for the position of senator in PDP to earn the ticket of PDP in 2022 primary election that took place. And I did not succeed, I didn't win. And as to the question as how I feel, I didn't feel anything bad because before I came into the contest, there are 2 possibilities, victory or no victory. And one of them must happen. So when I did not win, it didn't take me unaware. It is something that my mind was made for. I made up my mind for either of the 2. And when I didn't win, it didn't bother me. And that's why if you see me, I'm still bubbling. And I am a businessman, and I'm running my accounting firm as at now. I actually resigned in accordance with the requirements of the Electoral Act 2022, which required any public officer an appointed public officer to leave office before he could contest. And I was a federal commissioner in the Code of Conduct Bureau before that, and I had to resign. But today, I'm back fully to my practice.
Okay, that's
my practice, that is a firm of chartered accountants, Itodo Okpanachi & Co.
Like I introduced, as I was introducing you, I said you're a chieftain of PDP
Yes,
Kogi State, and you must have a very deep knowledge about PDP, especially in Kogi East. And let me say this, there was, hiccup when, you came to contest. And we are very experienced politicians. There were issues that came up, and finally they cleared. Do you think that, a little bit of noise played, kind of throw a monkey wrench into your, going to your politics or negate your chance of winning that election?
No, that did not. That was not it didn't contribute anything towards my losing the primary election. And it was a petition which was very, very unfounded, that I was funded, I was sponsored by the governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Ubolo, that I was being sponsored to come and disrupt the activities of PDP towards taking over Kogi State.
Yeah.
And in fact, the truth is, I have never sat one-on-one with Ubolo since Ubolo came to the throne as the governor of Kogi State. He is, in fact, we have never met, talk less of sponsoring me. So when evidence of my being a member of PDP were tendered before the appeal panel had no anything against me and then cleared me. So the issue of it having effect on my victory, I don't think it had effect.
What is next to you now that you have put the issue of the primary behind you, PDP? Some have come out from that exercise on the platform of PDP. We have, a party man is a party man, and you have been in this politics for quite some time. Very liable for PDP as a party. Do you feel have a chance of dealing with the other side of the political, extreme, the APC? They have a sitting senator at the moment, and we are going to have somebody from PDP to contend with that person. Has the Victor Adoji, has he come to you since, after all, has talked to you since he became a candidate for the PDP for 2022 election?
Yes, I answer in affirmative. He came. I think it was the second day of the primary election, the second day following the primary election, that he came to me in my office, and then he actually pleaded for support. And I told him that as I am, if it was me that won, I would also expect him to support me. So I told him that yes, I'll support him, because if I won, I wouldn't have expected him to refuse or withdraw his support for PDP. So if he contested on PDP and won and has come to me to request for support, I have no alternative than to do that.
Now, let me take you, expanding our conversation to the national performance of the PDP. We have Alhaji Atiku Abubakar as the flag bearer of PDP to take up the presidency of this country in 2023. We are looking at the role some few in politics within states and the national entirely. What do you guys have to say about Atiku? What are you guys to do? I think you might have inside conversation with people, with the members of PDP, your colleagues.
Yes, I can work with Alhaji Atiku. Yes, I know him. He was a vice president to the president I consider as of today the most, the president that performed most since I came to know politics. That is, was vice president to Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, who I think up to today I rate him first among all the presidents I have ever had. And Atiku was his deputy, that is his vice. So I think Atiku must have learned so much from him, and that because he has learned that much, I am in support of him to win, so that he can translate his experience, his knowledge from Chief Obasanjo into governance. And with that, I think if Nigerians can give support to Atiku, Abubakar Atiku, to win the presidential election and inaugurated as the president, I think Nigeria will go far, far higher than where we are.
What do you think about the choice of his vice running mate? Because there's a little bit controversy, you know, why he didn't pick it the most, you know, the person closer to him during the election, the Rivers State Governor, Nyesom Wike, and he went for Kowa. All of them within the south areas, but the Igbo extraction.
Yes.
You know, how do you see it? And if he has called you to give him advice, and what are you going to do?
Yeah,
before
he picked Okowa, Governor Okowa, as his running mate, he didn't consult me, and so I would have given advice on that. However, the right to pick a running mate is purely that one of the presidential candidate, because the president will be the person to take the whole blame or the whole credit. And having looked at the people around him who either contested with him or who he knew could do one thing or the other to help him, he is the person that can say, okay, if this person is my running mate, it will be better for me. Then, like our beloved governor of Rivers State, Wike, he may have studied him and known where he can perform best. If he wins this election, I mean our candidate now, former Vice President Abubakar Atiku, he may have seen where Wike will perform better than being the vice to him, because there are so many things that could be done as members of the party. There are ministries that are as good as being the vice, because you see, in Nigeria, if you look at Ministry of Transport, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, all those ministries that are there, he may feel that Wike is a performer, is somebody that has excelled in the area of project execution. You may want to give him areas that he will make him, you know, excel in project execution, and instead of putting him as his vice, he decides to keep him and then use him for where he can perform better. So I wouldn't really blame Atiku or do other things that I don't have the information he has about the people that he is working with. I don't have much information about them. He is the one that has better information than myself. Whatever he does, I think it is done with the sufficient information that he has.
We have your boss, former boss, Alhaji, former governor of Kogi State, Alhaji Ibrahim Idris. He has been working hard, a member of the zoning committee, and so on and so on and so forth. He has traveled here to Kogi State when many, aspirants came here to make their presentations to the governors. I think he's leading the PDP part in Kogi State at the moment. You were his accountant general. I could remember very well, which you did very well. How do you see, from any feeling that how you package Kogi State for him in upcoming elections? How you going to position him to win the election in Kogi State? Is there any plan for him? Is there any plan you people put together, or tactical, strategical, to make sure that Chiku, packs the votes in Kogi State?
Yeah, well, let me correct an impression from your statement. You say my former boss. He is always my boss. Yeah. I will not in any way look down on him because my governor then, Governor Ibrahim Idris, popularly known as Ubolo,
yes,
has done so well in training me in many things. The political asset which I have, which are people, it was as a result of his bringing me from Abuja to Kogi State that I got to the people, the political followership that I have, and I always put it at his disposal. So then the second question, the question, after having done this correction, the question is what the strategies to win this election for the president.
Yes.
Yes, I have been to him after this primary, and I have told him all the strategies and all I think he needs to do so that we have a smooth sail through in the forthcoming election. I have discussed with him, and I'm sure he, with others, are putting those advices together, which, when we execute them, it will be a smooth sail through for us in PDP PDP, I mean, Kogi State for PDP. Because what we are talking of is how can PDP come back and continue the good works that they did before the government, slipped off the PDP's hands.
You're always very forefront. I read somewhere that say you're a very calculated businessman, and you're not shy of telling somebody, I'm a businessman, I'm an accountant. And now, back to what do you do now? You said earlier, I'm going back to my business.
Yes.
Yes, you are in your business. You are in oil and gas. I know you very well. You have been described as very honest, very thorough. The pump price, when somebody go to your gas stations, I think I can testify to this. The pump gauge and the sharp business, it does not work with your stations. I have been there, and in Lokoja and other places. And does that because of your religion, your belief, or your upbringing? You just like selling like it is, no shortages at the pump. Or liters, which they call it, what do they call it here? When people, shortchange people at the pump, you are against it, which I can testify to that. So how is business now?
As I told you before, I am not the owner of of the Itodo oil and gas. But I have told you that my wife and my children are owners of that. I don't have a share in the company called the Itodo Oil Limited.
Okay.
But my wife has, my children have. So I put my eyes there so that the company can succeed for them. My own business, as I told you, is I'm a practicing accountant. I have a firm of chartered accountants. And this firm is a firm of auditors. We give consultancy in financial management, auditing, investigation, and even verification when necessary. So these are the things I do. What you are seeing at the filling station are what are part of my advice to that company, which my wife is the principal, is the chairman of the Itodo Oil Limited. And I have to advise my wife that, look, for business to succeed, honesty and integrity must be innate. So if honesty and integrity is devoided today, you will reap it tomorrow. So it's not even a matter of religion now. It is a matter of the business, principles. I read one book written by an Israeli. We call it Jewish Phenomenon. And what I discovered, that why Jews succeed is because they bring integrity into business. If you deal with a Jew today, you will want to come back and deal with him, because even if you are not there, he will send the quality you have paid for to you. He will not change you. And it doesn't really matter who you are, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or traditional religious worshiper. You will certainly return to him and then do the business. That is why when you look at in this Western world, Jews, especially America, are the dominant in the ownership of assets in America. So because of their integrity, they display their truthfulness. Even in politics, if you are a deceiver, you can deceive once. The second time they'll deal with you. So integrity is what you see in that the Itodo Oil Limited, which you are saying.
Let me ask you this: you have been very engaging. I think you have been very engaging.
Yes.
Go ahead in our conversation.
Yes.
Are you going to contest for 2003, leading to 2004 gubernatorial election?
No, it's very far.
Thinking?
It's very far. So the time is very far, and that so many things can happen. From now till 2023, the election will take place in November, around November 2023.
Yes.
So the time between now and that time is more than a year.
Yes.
You don't even know whether you are going to be alive. You don't know whether you are going to be healthy. You don't know what can happen. You see, there might be people you want to support today, or at that time, they may not even be alive. They may either be sick or sick. You might be forced to. Even if you have made your mind that you are not contesting, and you discover that the people you want to, or the person you want to support, if it's there, you don't want to contest, and suddenly you cannot contest, either because of one thing or the other. Then you feel that if this man is not there, why don't I contest? So I cannot say whether I'm going to contest or not. As of today.
Yeah. Well, at think you have spent some time with me.
Thank you.
And I have been talking to His Excellency Elder Ubolo Itodo Okpanachi, quintessential businessman. Thank you very much for sharing his opinion with us on the politics and the business of today. We thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Join us next week as more Africa events unfold. I'm Abubakar Saliki Ryan.